it's Noel Powell with creationeffects.com with another totally free preset for Adobe After Effects. It's called Echo Trail, and you can use it on any moving layer and it will leave a 3D trail of copies, or echoes I call them. And it's got some great customization options to let you do all sorts of fun stuff with a trail. You can use it on shape layers or solids, or as you can see, it also works on footage. And you've got the option to freeze the time code of each echo or have all the echoes play together. Or you can have them play on a progressive delay, which gives you some cool wavy motion in the footage. The echoes occupy 3D space, which means you can have objects or your camera move in between the echoes, and they're compatible with light layers and the camera's depth of field. Or if you're working with 2D layers, it can do 2D trails as well. It's really fun to play with, and I think it has a lot of potential for creative uses if you're a motion designer or maybe a music video editor. The more I played with it, the more I discovered fun and unique ways to use it. So go and download your free copy. I'll have a link in the description, no strings attached, and then come back here and watch the rest of the video because I'll go over how to use it. It's not hard at all, but it will be helpful to see, I think. So let's get started. First, you'll need to open the zip file, and this is a preset, so once it's installed, you'll be able to easily access it anytime in After Effects. If you're running Windows, I'll put up on the screen the location of the folder where this FFX file goes. I'm on a Mac, so I'll just show you where it goes on a Mac. Just go to the Applications folder, and then whatever version of After Effects you use. Then go to Presets. And what I recommend is create a new folder in the presets folder and name it Creation Effects. And you can put it in there along with all the other free presets that you download from the site, and it'll make them easy to find in After Effects. So I can open After Effects now, and actually you can see right here, this is how I got the idea for the preset. I had opened After Effects and I saw this little ball with the echo trail, and I thought that could be a really good preset and not too hard to make. And here we are. All right, I'm going to show you how to apply the echo trail to a 3D shape layer first, and then I'll apply it to some footage, and then I'll show you what to do if you're applying it to a 2D layer. So I have this shape layer, and it just has a simple 3D motion to it. You can see I added some keyframes to the position, and I also animated it to spin a little bit with a simple expression on the Z rotation. So to add an echo trail to this, I'll just duplicate the layer, Control D or Command D, and you don't have to rename the layers, but you'll see in a second why it makes sense to do it. So I'll rename the original layer Leader, and the copy will be the first echo, so I'll rename it Echo 1. And now I'll apply the preset, not to the Leader layer, but to Echo 1. So I can go into my Effects and Presets panel, and here's my Creation Effects folder, and here's the Echo Trail preset. So with Echo 1 selected, I'll just double click it, and we can see that added some controls to our layer for customizing the echo trail. And before I go any further, I want to point out that the instructions are right here in this folder. So you won't have to keep coming back to this video. All the important stuff is right here. Okay, there's one important step before we start making the echoes. We have to tell it which layer is the leader layer and which is the echo layer up here. So I'll set this to Leader, and this to Echo 1. And now I can just duplicate this Echo 1 layer as many times as needed to make the trail as long as I want. So I'll stop at about 40 echoes for now. All right, so you can see how each echo, at the time that it's made, it inherits the same position and rotation of the leader at that exact time. And what's nice is you can go back to your leader layer and adjust your motion path or edit or keyframe any of the transform properties on this leader layer. And then the echoes will update and inherit those properties when they're made. So let's look at the customization controls. All the echoes will have the controls. So it's important to remember that you have to go back to the first one, Echo 1. Because those are the only controls that will actually work. So the first control is trail start time, and this value is in seconds, not frames. You may have noticed our echoes didn't start immediately, and that's because our start time is set to 0.5 seconds. So I'll just set this to 0, and then the echoes will start right away. Next we have echo delay. So the echoes are at intervals of 0.15 seconds. I can lower that a bit and the echoes get closer to each other. And so now I need to add more layers to make the trail longer. And to make the echoes move along the path, we can keyframe either one of these controls. So we can make the echoes follow the leader or make them move backward along the path. And it will have a slightly different effect depending on which one of these you keyframe. The next control is progressive delay amount. I'll hold down the command key as I drag this to make it increase slowly. You can see how it spreads out the later echoes, but not the first echoes. If I wanted the opposite effect, I could increase the echo delay so that the first echoes are really spread out. And then I'll use a negative value on this progressive delay amount to make them get closer and closer together toward the end of the trail. All right, these next two controls have to do with footage. I'll show you those in a minute. They won't have any effect on a shape layer. So the only thing left are these drift controls. With these, you can continually increase or decrease any of the transform properties of the echo layers, starting at the moment that they're first formed. So the leader layer is rotating, which is how the echo trail appears to be twisted like this. But I could increase the Z rotation drift control, and now those echoes will continue rotating after they're made. Or I could use a negative value on the opacity drift, and that'll make the echo trail fade out. Or I could edit the position drift to make the echoes fall or something. Or things get really interesting when you change the anchor point drift, because now the rotation works differently and the layers are rotating around their moving anchor point. All right, let's look at a footage echo trail. You can see I've got this key light effect on here to key out the background. You're going to want to remove the background for this to work, either by keying or rotoscoping, whatever way you want. Everything I showed you so far is the same for a footage layer or for a precomp layer. But when we apply the preset to the first echo layer, since it's footage, it adds this time remapping effect, which lets us do interesting things to the timecode. So by default, we see that all the echoes are playing together in sync with the leader layer. And if we go to the echo 1 layer and check this box to freeze the timecode, now each layer is paused at the timecode when the echo was formed. Something else you can do with this progressive timecode delay control is offset the timecode of the echoes to create waves in the motion. So I'll enter something low, like 0.1 seconds, and if you watch closely, you can see the waves are in motion, but the echoes are no longer in sync with the leader when they're first formed. So there's a couple things you could do to fix that. You could just hide the leader layer. Or what I would probably recommend is to keep this control at 0 to start, let the trail finish forming, and then keyframe this control to go from 0 to about 0.05 over a span of 5 seconds or so. You'll want to do it gradually like that because the footage will play in fast motion as it tries to catch up to your timecode settings. All right, lastly, let me show you what to do if you're working with 2D layers. I have this shape that is moving across the frame. It doesn't have any time remapping on it, so the timecode controls won't do anything. And also a lot of these transform properties won't do anything either because we're working in 2 dimensions. But the main thing I want to show you, when you play back the echo trail, you'll see that the echoes appear over the leader layer, which doesn't look as good. So what I recommend is you duplicate the leader layer, and we still need this original one to be here, but we can hide it and then place the copy that we made up at the top so that it now plays above the echoes. So that's the echo trail. If you haven't downloaded it yet, what's wrong with you? Go and get it. It's free. The link is in the description. And while you're there, I hope you poke around the site. People tell me they spend a long time just watching the videos there and seeing what's possible with After Effects. I just finished a bundle called Space Effects. It lets you make custom animations of a variety of celestial objects. It has a very high quality 3D sun and a black hole and Earth, of course, nebula, solar system, and a lot more. There's also Landscaper, which will let you create just about any type of landscape you can imagine in After Effects. You can easily add water just by drawing it with your pen tool. It comes with lots of nature effects and an automatic sky, so you can literally just turn the clock to set the time of day, and the sun or moon comes out and the lighting changes. And it also comes with 30 finished landscapes, so it's easy to just drop a 3D title into those and render them out. Also, you can check out Creation Trippy Effects. It's a collection of trippy looking effects for your footage, as well as trippy animations that you can customize. Or there's the Critter series. There's flocks for making 3D flocks of birds, or swarms for creating swarms of insects, and schools for animating fish. They make it really easy, and you can choose from a variety of species. There's Wisp. It lets you create custom particle trails. There's Micro for creating realistic microbial animations, imitating life as seen under the microscope. There's Shapeshift for creating some really cool 3D transitions for your videos. And Ocean for creating 3D bodies of water. And just dozens more templates for After Effects on the site, but I'll leave you with a glimpse of Creation Artifacts, which converts your footage into animated artwork in just about any medium that you can think of.